Hey guys, awesome. Yeah, it's been a while since I made my last video, to be honest. Just been literally trading, focusing on my routines, kind of just, doing me. So kind of getting back on it now. Going to be consistent with my YouTube for 2023, starting from now. I know we've kind of missed a bit of January, but definitely have stayed consistent with basically everything I normally do. Sunday market breakdowns, except the first week of January, I missed that out, and the Christmas period. Um, I actually got salmonella, weirdly enough, so that messed me up in a different way. But yeah, so looking at trading going into it, um, watch list wise, I know we're kind of coming up to the midweek now. I had a few things on watch, had Euro Aussie. Was looking at a short here potentially, didn't really get the commitment, and then I kind of believe this is going to become something larger now, so I'm going to stay out of that and wait for something a little bit larger to develop before I kind of get involved in that. Euro yen. Um, so I've got to jump straight into the technicals. I love it. Looking at larger flag over here. So hopefully we get a pullback down and then we get a push up and we go. Euro New Zealand. I did start using alerts a lot more. I've now become very familiarized with it and enjoy trading with it a lot more. So it's something that I can recommend that, eventually it's worth transitioning and implementing it. It's so easy to use. Literally, all you do is right click add alert, select how you want it to play out. If it crosses, it's less than, so forth. And yeah, it just works out well. So, got this section here. This is acting as a middle section, which I kind of like as well, that we have this middle section. So this larger one, two, three. So sorry, at one point I believe we're going to get a strong bull move, and then when we do get that bull move, hopefully, we do come up here, and then maybe we just kind of look at that override, and how we'll see it is kind of just come up to here and maybe reject, and then create a one, two, three, and then sell off. Who knows? There could be. We just kind of have to keep an eye on that. But at the moment, it's a little bit difficult to say. I don't think it'll be any point near anytime soon. I think give it some time, maybe around about February time, we should see this move up. We could move dramatically during the course of this week if we get some strong moves, and this leg can be impulsive. So that's something I'm definitely looking at. GBP Swiss. GBP Swiss is quite nice as well. I missed the short this morning. I was too busy looking at what was it? Euro GBP, GBP USD. And yeah, so basically had this as the override. We came in up here, and my short position was here. So how I would have taken that was I literally would have taken it on the close here, and then just slap that right above here, and then that would have been around about 23. So overall, around about 2.5, and then I would have probably locked in. Yeah, I'd probably be still running around about break even, knowing me, to be honest. I wouldn't get too aggressive. I think the better play for someone would be off taking this probably more refined. So kind of just zoom in a little bit more, catch it on the break over here, and then maybe when this candle played out here, perhaps maybe you can squeeze it in around about 10 pips. Um, it's more of an aggressive move, but then you would have been running easily around about 6%, could have locked in around about 3.5 and been out for the trade here, and then just wait for further development. So that was kind of a mistrade for me, but not too fast because it's not really the cleanest. I did see this trickling back up, so I was looking for that double scoop up. We didn't quite tap into that override, and as you can see, my my alert didn't get tagged as well. So, you know, I'm happy that I missed it anyway. It doesn't really matter to me. It wasn't a part of the plan. This one over here, so it's a little bit of a tricky one because we didn't really get a fulfillment off what I was kind of forecasting. I was looking for a one, two, three. We didn't get the third touch. We kind of scooped up and then kind of trickled down. And now we've kind of just got a little bit more messy. This isn't the sort of pattern that I am looking at trading right now. I think if I am going to be taking something, let's just say that I would look for a lot more further development at this point. So there isn't really a trade in here for me. It's a little bit messy GBP yen. I'm just waiting for price to tap into that override up here, and then we get a sell off. So I think this is just messier price action right now. Um, once again, I think my New Zealand yen's almost ready, but I will be looking for a solid push up, push back down on the flag, just because of the impulsive nature of this. We have got a little bit corrective towards the end, but it looks like we could be forming some sort of price action here, which could give me some sort of 1, 2, 3. Not too sure yet, but I'm going to wait a little bit because I'm not too sure how this is going to play out. We could get some final ending structure, which would be nice, catching people out on the wrong side, and then we sell off. So keep an eye on that one. I wouldn't jump into it immediately. If we do just sell off and we're somewhere down here and then we create a flag, then I'll be looking to scale in and get low. Um, Same kind of applies for Aussie US dollar. So it's a bit of an annoying one for me because I had a 1, 2, 3, and I got the sell position on refinement over here. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. So I got a trade over here, and this is totally my fault. So I think it was roughly around about here somewhere, and it was around about 22 and a half. And it's funny because similar thing happened to me on GBP USD, and I was running around about 7%. And this is totally my fault. I think I had this trade open and then it literally started coming back up and I didn't lock in profit. I should have been aggressive and locked it in around about 5% over here, but I left it open and then behold, over a few days, it kind of just came all the way back up here. And it wasn't what I was really expecting, but then again, I was looking for price to really come down. So I left that on being very, very lenient with it, but it's totally my fault. We could just trickle and keep going up here, tap into the higher zone here, and then sell off, or we could tap into that override and sell off. So just being patient with that. Euro GBP. Now, Euro GBP is an interesting one because basically how I actually saw this was I was looking at price here and essentially this before anything. So this made a lot of sense to me that I would see that price would essentially, you know, push down, create a flag, continue, fill in the gap over there. Let me go to daily so it's a little bit more clear. You can see that obviously we've tapped into this high over here and then we've just started to reject. We did have a three-touch ascending over here, push down. So looking at that rejection there and look for the sell-off. It looks pretty clean, looks nice. So then giving it some time to materialize, we had this 1 hour retrace. Now this is where I got taken out for a 1%. We had that there, and then it was roughly around about, I think I was a little bit less, it was roughly around about 25-ish. So I did have room open to actually leave up here, and I think at some point I did have it left over there during high spreads, and then I brought it back down. But moving down to 1 hour chart, then we had this sort of tight squeeze over here. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. Going into high spread hours, low liquidity, and then boom, that happened. So when that happened, I was a bit annoyed because we did have that little commitment down here, and I was like, okay, cool, this could be it. And then as we rejected and pull back up, that's when I was kind of like, if this starts trickling back up here, I'll just take a break even and leave it. The spike took me out for 1%, so that was pretty annoying in my idea. And then, we're kind of up here now. So the other thing that I saw was we have this. Now, this can definitely be forming as the flag that we could see to go to the downside, but I wouldn't entertain this anymore. I think that it's just extended way too much. I think if I'm going to be taking this, it would have to be coming all the way back down here, creating a flag, and then we go. And that's the sort of trade that I would only entertain on EG at the moment. GBP CAD, also quite nice. Just looking for a larger flag. I think it's now just kind of dripped too far for me to look for a larger flag in that area. That is not the sort of larger flag that I would be kind of expecting to really take. But then again, if we did move up here and then we made our way back down there and then moved up, I wouldn't be surprised. So, you know, looking at that sort of price action, we could be looking at a two touch and then we go. It's more likely. I think at the moment, I'm not really looking to entertain a buy on GBP because a lot of the pairs are just selling off aggressively. So GBP might actually make its way all the way back down here before we go up. So I'll just keep my eye on this one, but I don't think I'm going to be taking a trade on this anytime soon. I think I need further more development. And then GBP USD. Now, this trade was great, honestly. I missed out on this one big time because of a small mistake I made, and I'll kind of explain that now. So just going through this quickly, we had the override over here, and then we trickled and made our way up very correctively after this first impulse, and then the rest was just corrective price. Drilling down to the second touch area. So we did come in with a near miss. As the near miss reached, what happened, and I'll take this alert off for a second, is we came in over here. And how I was looking at it was essentially like this, right? Which honestly makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now, looking at it like that, you don't need to worry about anything else, to be honest. You're not going to be thinking about the one, two, three that much. You can see that there's this sort of, you know, tap in one, two over there. Kind of gives it, but we had more than enough. We had the tap into the override. We did break a little bit, but we pulled back down aggressively. In there, we had a 15-minute flag, which I did take advantage of literally over here. And that was about 22 and a half pips for me. 22 and a half, so it would have been a bit higher. Yeah, roughly. I think it was rough. It was roughly about just at the tip somewhere, and just going in. And then this trade ran. Okay, now I'll just quickly play that out. Now this is where it got a little bit annoying for me because I made a typical beginner mistake, in my opinion. Now I had two options. When price came down aggressive over here, and I was running around about 4.5%, 4.4. I then should have locked in profit around about here, around about 2.2, right? So at least I walk off the table with something because of the hard work and efforts. After I saw this and then I kind of lined this up, I was then like, okay, this lines up now. You know, if I just remove this bit of price action, this lines up, and I can see that this trade here, it's probably going to trickle up. So you know what? I'm going to take this out. When I decided to take it out, I took it out around about here at zero point 0.5, right? Took that trade. That was my trade. I was out. Then I was like, okay, so I'll give it some time, let it materialize, and then it's probably just going to make its way back up here. I didn't think this was going to be a head and shoulders in any way because I was like, well, this price up here just kind of negates that sort of thesis. So I'm just going to go with, we're going to get a 1, 2, 3, look for the strong push up, push down, and catch out, and then we kind of catch people out on the wrong side, take out some orders. Didn't quite work out like that. As price just developed, it dripped off just moments later, and then just kind of didn't go with it. And it's a bit annoying because it was one where I could have stayed in the trade as well, and it was just my own decision that kind of took me out because I was over here. I was holding break even for so long, and even if I held break even and stayed break even, then I would have essentially ran. Well, I don't know how much it would have been, like 5%, running five onwards now. So that was kind of the situation with GBP USD. But even so, it doesn't matter. Right now, I think obviously if we do get some sort of continuation, some sort of flag there, then I'll be looking to go short. And I think, I can still play the run. It just means I missed out on that sort of option over there. But this is the sort of trade I'll be looking for over here. And then we'll just continue with the trade. So that's that. I think Aussie US dollar as well. Bit of a shame, I was hoping for that sell off, but I think this is going to give it some time. It'll probably just make its way back up here and then sell off. So yeah, I think that kind of just summarizes my sort of week so far. Last week I had some good trades as well. Some really good stuff I was looking at. I think I was looking at Aussie US dollar quite a lot. I was looking at the trade over here, and then I saw the 1, 2, 3. So this is where the trade was. There was a few options. There was the override as well that was being looked at. I think the override was like over here. So I was looking at that override and then took the trade, and then I think it just pulled back up. So there was a small profit in there, but even so, regardless, it's been not so bad, to be honest. I think give it some time, and I think a lot of these pairs are really going to shape up. GBP pairs are definitely the ones I'm going to be keeping a watch on. I think, I think looking at how Euro pairs are, it can go two ways. I'm a little bit neutral, but more so seeing this potentially coming up a lot higher. GBP and New Zealand, I think they're going to drip. I think it's very possible that price will come here and then just sell off. And then same with New Zealand yen. Just need to really wait for it to come out and then come back in. But we'll see how that develops. And maybe we'll just get aggressive sell off movement. Who knows? So, yeah. Just keeping my eye close on that. And yeah, have a good week, guys, and we'll catch up in the next video.